Hi, Soul Anchor welcomes you to On the Couch with Johanna Malovhele, your transformational coach. I want to talk to you about my area of reflection. I've been reflecting a lot on me, who I am. And I'm going to ask you a question. Who are you? When I ask you, who are you? I'm not talking about your roles. I'm not talking about your achievements. I'm not talking about your functions. I'm just talking about you. I was reminded that there is what I call default, factory settings, and what the world introduced. Looking at my photos when I was a baby, I saw such innocence and beauty, the beauty of the image of God in me, my identity. That's my default. When I was born, the day I was born naked, just as I was. If I were to be asked then, because I didn't have anything, I wasn't a woman, a grown woman, but just a neonate. If I had the speech and the language to answer the question, who I am, if I were to compare it to the answer I would have given as an adult, it could have differed. I was a free-spirited, carefree child who loved just being Joey. But then what changed? The biggest mistake that I made was listening to what I shouldn't have been listening to. Because you know what? Joey was okay the way she was. Default. She was okay. The way she was born okay because her birth introduced something unique on earth. And actually, I then learned and realized that, you know what? Creation identifies with that image, the image of God in me. Creation knows the real me. Creation responds to the real me. But then I listened to what media had projected as a woman, a beautiful woman. Who doesn't want to be beautiful? I wanted to be beautiful because I knew I was born beautiful. I was affirmed growing up by my parents that I was beautiful, and I knew I was beautiful, but everything changed when the adult I was started listening to what I shouldn't have been listening to, because that formed my self-perception. But then what I had not learned and realized was that airbrushed picture I saw in a magazine cover, the picture that had no pimple on it, that had no cellulite on it, that had just, perfection on it, was not the real picture. That picture had been polished. Some of the poses that I saw on magazines and TV adverts, I didn't know that it could have taken them 500 practice opportunities for the cameraman, the photographer, to get that picture perfect that made its way to the magazine. But then I learned that life, it's not practice. You don't have 500 chances to practice a pose. My pose is a lived experience. I live it, I walk it every day. But when I learned that, it changed me. I didn't want to be the woman in a magazine cover. I wanted to be the woman I was, because there I learned that the woman I was and becoming was enough. Because my beauty reflects the image of God. My identity is what matters. However, I love the fact that God has given me choice. A choice to express myself however I want to express myself. But then creation doesn't identify with expressions, but creation identifies with what it knows, the original, not the copy, the original. Because you know what? We end up scanning ourselves against what is presented to us. You end up lowering yourself so much as to superimpose the original you to a copy. And what comes out of there, it's a copy. You lose your originality. You trade your originality for a copy. You want to be who you are not, who you were never destined to be. Then I learned that when I was born as me. There's no other person in the whole world who looks like me, and there will never be another person who would look like me. As much as when I look at myself in the mirror, I see my dad's features, I see my mom's features. I don't look like them. They don't look like me. I look at my older son. People say, "Oh, he looks like you." And I'm thinking, does he? He is his own person. I am my own person. He was not meant to look like me. I was not meant to look like him. He looks like himself. I look like me. Because there's only one Joey in the whole world. And creation awaits and groans for the purpose, the why of the Joey. Creation sits in that arena. In that arena. It sits on the stands of that arena while the orchestra waits. Creation wants to hear the song Joey is. The song that when I came to the world that year, that December morning of the 6th, when I made my introduction to this world, the stage was set, the arena was ready, the song was placed in me. The orchestra can play without me because they don't have a song. I am the song. Creation sits on the stands waiting for the song. But when will that song be sung? When I'm still trying to be someone I'm not. I choose to sing my song. I choose to play that music that is within me. And one way of playing that music, it's being me. It's appreciating who I am and every body part in me that serves me faithfully. I went back to the mirror, looked at the photos, and decided I'm going back to my default. Then I loved everything about me. Yes, I was once a size 28 in varsity. But then I look at the woman I am today. Do I want to be that size 28? No. I want to be who I am today, in my size, in my shape. I look at my gray hair. I love it at my age because that's who I am, and I am proud to be, and whatever and whoever I am today, I love it. I love my shape. I love my body because it's all I've got. It's part of my dance. It's part of my dance. I worship God when I give him that purity of creation, his identity. When I express myself in the lip gloss that I'm wearing, it's just fun and expression. I don't put it on. I don't wear it because something is wrong with my lips. It's just an expression of color, an expression of fun. However, who I am needs no altering. Who I am needs no enhancements, because it is good enough as it is. I decided I want to die an original. I don't want to be a copy. I don't want to die a copy. And I'm not going to take my originality and superimpose it on a copy. Not anymore. I have embraced my today. I love my today. I love who I am today. I have renounced the word perfection, the word imperfect that was introduced at some point in my life. I see God's perfection in me, because when I was born, He presented me perfect. Creation knows me perfect. There's nothing that needs to change in me. I love my ears just as they are. By the way, if you didn't know, I've got one ear that's just straight, nice and straight, without that fold, and I love it. I don't want any fold. If I could choose it again, I would choose the same ear. Because you know what? That's what creation identifies. I loved earrings growing up. My mom pierced my ears when I was a baby. And each time I wore earrings. And I loved them. I still love them even today. But then I realized that there was a different story to the bra. Earrings were fun, an expression. Bra, not fun, because with it came shame. Shame of sagging breasts. But then when I decided I needed to redeem, I needed to redefine the story of the bra, then I fell in love with my sagging breast. I turned the story of the bra around. Then the bra became an expression. Just like the lip gloss, just like my earrings. Fun. I do not need to manage my image, but I need to manage my character. My identity. When I look at me in the mirror, I now see Christ. Because I chose to see myself the way Christ sees me. Because the world wants to see Christ's image in me. Then I learned that my purpose was linked to my identity. When I found my identity, I found me. I found my purpose. I learned that, you know what? When I was born, the first thing that I did was that cry. The cry that announced that, you know what? A queen had arrived. And this is a queen who's gonna walk on her lane. And as she walks on her lane, she will appreciate other queens as they walk on their own lanes. I communicated. And today I know that my purpose is to communicate. Whatever media it takes is to communicate. But it took me finding the image of God in me to know that just who I am communicates. The shine that you see in my smile is communication and healing on its own. The smile and the beauty of my teeth, it's part of me, it's God-given. It's a means of communication. As I look at you, when I talk to you, I communicate hope. When I learned who I was, I learned and I found that puzzle piece that was linked to my becoming, that was linked to my uniqueness. I celebrate my uniqueness. And what it did to me, it gave me a confidence I had never had in my life. The Christ confidence, not the self-confidence. When I found me, I knew that everywhere I find myself, I would be the only person, the only Joey there is. I would be the only person to dance my dance in a way I only could, to sing my song in a way I only could sing. Today, it's not what I put on. Today, it's not how I choose to express myself as, but it is my identity, God's reflection in my identity. When I walk into a room, you know what? I walk in there with that confidence. It feels like I'm the only one in that room. It's not what I'm wearing or how I look, but it's who I am and what I bring with me, because I bring my uniqueness. And my uniqueness, it's what lights up the room. It's that confidence that I have. I don't need anything that comes outside of me anymore. Because you know what? I know it's all inside of me. What you see on the outside, it's just a radiation of what's inside of me. I want to ask you this transformational question in closure. Who are you? And I'm going to give you a task. Get a book. And I want you to answer this question honestly. Your truth. I want you to speak truth to power, to your identity today. Because you cannot say you know why you exist until you know who you are. Now, I want you to answer this question. Who are you? I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the wife. I'm not talking to the mother. I'm not talking to the academic, to the businesswoman. I'm not talking to your roles. I'm not talking to anything but you. The you that I'm talking to is the you that was born the day you were born, your default. You were not married. You were not a mother. You didn't have a qualification. You didn't have anything but you. I want you to answer it as many times as you can. I say write it in a book because I want you to see how that answer evolves, where it started, until you're able to respond to it without the frills, just you. Go before the mirror. Look at yourself. If you have photos of you when you are young, when you were a baby, I want you to go through that journey once more. Look at that innocence. It's time to restore the image of God that you allowed the world to take away from you. It's time to go back to factory settings. I want you to go back to default. Forgive yourself of allowing what you shouldn't have allowed to define you. Go back to default. You are beautiful. You don't need anything outside of you because you are the only one. There can never be anybody else like you. Sing that song. Find you, answer the question, and start singing that song and start dancing that dance only in ways you alone can. Remember, nobody can evaluate that dance except your Creator. Just dance on. Dance on. But you won't dance until you find who you are. I am beautiful. And I mean it. And I'm telling me as I'm talking to you, because I have found beauty in everything me. Everything me shouts beautiful. And I love it. I don't have to change anything. about me. I can express me however I want. But I know creation awaits my originality. Creation doesn't identify with expressions, because expressions are for me to have fun and enjoy. Thank you for listening. Who are you?